Today presents Strike Battleship Argent, Book 1 in the Starships at War series, by Shane Lachlan Black. Copyright 2016.
Hey, science fiction and fantasy fans, Shane Lachlan Black here, reminding you that all of my serialized fiction and all of my serialized audiobooks are available on my site, brought to you ad-free by the Action Faction. We're also supporting literacy. Every time we hit a milestone, we send another book to a school. Plus, you can get your own call sign and get producer credit in videos just like this one when you sponsor us. All ahead, battle speed.
On more than one occasion, Echo had been the difference between a prepared crew and a lot of casualties. She had been engaged in a long-running conversation with Butterfly about whether pink or yellow was a prettier color, and just for fun, she had kept her audio patch open so anyone nearby could hear both sides of the discussion. Those sounds were just confusing enough that Echo saw the intruders before they saw her. There were 5 of them. They were heavily armed, and they had no identifying signals of any kind. In fact, Echo's onboard radar tried to ping their location for range and got no signal back. There was a brief, soundless moment as the little vehicle looked up at the darkly dressed humanoids and they looked back at her. And then all hell broke loose. Emergency! Emergency! Intruders! Requesting assistance! SOS! Survey Station 19 Deck 6! Mayday! Mayday! Sound the alarm! The British are coming! Echo lit up like a pachinko machine. Her strobes, spinning lights, flashers, power loss lights, threat indicators, targeting lasers, and tiny little red light bars went into full operation. She looked like the ground floor of a casino on wheels. Red alert, battle stations, code 3, abandoned ship, evacuate, keep your hands and arms inside the vehicle, man overboard. As the torrent of high-pitched panicked noise poured from the little vehicle, she peeled backwards with a startling rate of acceleration, turned sharply and roared back down the corridor at an unsettling speed. After a few more seconds, a full-power ambulance siren went off and mixed with her chattering alerts. The most annoying car alarm ever invented would have literally deflated if put up against the storm of sound Echo produced. Her voice was audible all the way up and down the curved corridor, reflecting off the metal surfaces and making it sound like she was running into a canyon. She definitely lived up to her namesake. 2 of the unidentified intruders gave chase, only to find another vehicle parked right in the center of the corridor and blocking their path. This one looked like a camouflaged gas can on tank tracks. It was pointing a non-trivial-looking gun of some kind at them. "Identify yourself!" it shouted. The voice was that of about a 7-year-old boy trying to start an after-school fight. "You better listen, 'cause Echo already said you were intruders." One of the men made the mistake of pointing a weapon at Rebel. His first shot ricocheted off of the tiny tank's shields. The little armored unit returned fire. The painfully bright blast tore a 6-foot gash in the ceiling fixtures. Ripped and blasted metal clanged on the floor. Sparks rained down as the corridor lights flashed and strobed, then went out. The 2 intruders fired wildly in Rebel's direction and quickly retreated. The little tank gave chase. It was basically an iguana pursuing racehorses, but Rebel did his best.
There are those who believe the sudden hostilities between the Core Alliance and the Sarnstar Empire were unexpected. Those who have engaged Imperial forces at Rho Theta, Lunar 6-1, and now El Rey know better. The strike point, Siege Island. The Alliance fleet is well aware an attack on populated planets could happen with as little as 90 seconds advance warning. Dragonkind's most lethal battleship and most ruthless warlord, known as He Who Slew 9 with a Single Blade, are tasked with a simple mission: hunt down and destroy mankind's warriors. The leaders of the Core Alliance have pushed their enemies too far. Payback is coming, and it will fall from the skies on wings, stained with human blood. Presenting the most popular and successful series in Shane Lachlan Black's entire science fiction catalog. Destroy All Starships includes 7 ambitious novellas, featuring memorable new heroes, menacing alien enemies, and an action-packed maximum firepower story cycle that sets the standard for the entire Starship's universe. The order is given. This time it ends in victory or annihilation.
Butterfly, Butterfly, where are you? A small helicopter fluttered into the corridor just as Echo screamed past, lights still flashing brightly enough to illuminate the corridor for 10 feet in all directions. Where did you go? Butterfly said softly, pivoting around and flying back into the medical lab just as Echo came roaring back out. Butterfly, where are you? Echo skidded out the door, swerved and continued down the hall, shouting for her friend, sirens blaring. I'm here, Echo, I'm here. Finally, after a couple more near misses, the two little craft found each other. Butterfly, we have to tell AC. There's intruders, and they're wearing all black clothes, and they have guns, and they're not supposed to be here because AC said nobody except people with fleet IDs are supposed to be on the station, and we gotta. If Echo weren't built on wheels, she would have been jumping up and down while shouting. Echo, I can't understand you when you talk so fast. Do you remember the code for AC's designator? Uh-huh. Echo sounded like she had just run the length of a football field. Okay, then can't we use that code to call her for help? Uh-huh. Okay, then why don't we do that? She can help us. Okay. Echo was operating on a completely different energy and panic level than Butterfly was. The little helicopter was far less excitable, but was also far more likely to fly somewhere and hide rather than get involved in the action. AC, it's Echo. Remember when you said to call you for help when there was trouble? It would later be viewed as fortunate that Echo had engaged the fleet-wide emergency channel. Her transmission sounded in the pickups of 9 signals officers and the entire landing party at once. Echo, this is AC. Go ahead. Intruders on Deck 6. Rebel shot them, and I sounded all my alarms, even the really loud ones. And then Butterfly said we should call you and... Okay, Echo, calm down. You did fine. We received your alert, Hunter said reassuringly. Then everything's okay? Echo asked. Are you okay? Do you need help? Butterfly and me will come help you if you need help. No, Echo, we're fine. Go to alert condition 4. Can you do that for me? Okay. Then what I need you to do right now is monitor the intership and tell me if any of our signals officers calls. Can you and Butterfly do that for me together? Okay, we'll tell you if anyone calls. Affirmative, Echo. Hunter out. The other officers stared at their skipper. They had never heard someone reassure a robot before. She gets excited, Hunter said. Tom, raise the Exeter and use her command codes to transmit Echo's tactical data. I want a Marine shock platoon with Echo's targets down here in 60 seconds. A small metal object rolled into the records lab. Grenade! Commander Huggins grabbed Hunter and dove towards the mainframe cage. A violent explosion shook the entire deck. Chapter 28. Jason, I'm being serious here. You took a hard crack to the head. I want you to take it easy. I know how you get when you get wound up. Captain Hunter knew that look. Honora Doverly was a doctor first and an executive officer second. If she weren't here doing her duty, she would be running a small pediatric practice in a farming village somewhere and giving away toys and candy to her patients. Promise me, she said, her eyes sincere. I promise, Doctor. Hunter winked. I'll keep it tamped down to a medium-sized dinosaur fight. His grin and infectious confidence made it very hard to doubt him. I suppose that's the best I can hope for under the circumstances. Hunter and Doverly walked onto the bridge while the captain read the status report. So the Highlanders are launched and standing by? Affirmative. Hatch's recommendation was the correct one. Both Wildcat squadrons are on CSP. I have a Yellow Jacket Strike Force standing by off Flight 1 and a T-Hawk Strike Force standing by off Flight 2. Both are on a 15-minute ready alert. I'm going to leave the ground forces loadouts to the colonel, but we'll have plenty of firepower in the air when they hit dirt. The new railcasters did well, I'm told, Jason muttered, scrolling through the damage reports. They pack quite a punch in their energy configurations. Yili tells me the projectiles are even more effective at shorter ranges, Honora replied as she manned the XO station. I practically had to have her restrained in sickbay. She'll be back on her feet about the time Zoni and Moo have recovered, if she doesn't sneak out a ventilation duct first.
rest of the story is only one keyword away. Visit jumpline.click in your browser. New keywords are activated every day. Get access to our entire catalog of science fiction, fantasy, and gamelit.